big machine doing? Well,
It's in the brain. Glad I didn't buy one a long time ago.
look at
I
this box.
security systems for the Australian government. And I'm advising young people.
Warranty's annoying, local support isn't available.
6 huge big tape decks.
Tell me a little bit about these. Who are these for? If it's just a thought about, hey, it will allow you to physically make all of these things that aren't physical. Hello, my name is Shayyan Ali from Young Innovators Australia. With me, I have John Byers, an amazing man with a lot of history. But without me talking about John, I'll have John introduce himself a little bit. So, John, for everyone out there.
Hello, I'm almost 82 years old. I've got a disability, but I'm not in any pain or like this. I just lock myself in this room because I really can't get round anywhere. The only places I go to is Liverpool Hospital to look after me. As far as I've got a 3D printer, I've had it for about 8 9 months. Before then, I didn't know much about them, although I was very keen to get one 3, 4, 5 years ago. And I'm glad I didn't, because they were very primitive and expensive then. Now, these are quite cheap and they are quite intelligent.
I wanted to mention, before we get into 3D printing, I want to know a little bit more about your early life. What have you learned? What's your education like?
I left school at 15.
Yes?
Back in 1958.
Okay.
I left school at 15 and I got various jobs, and I started off actually working 1 year in a bank, but then I went on and on, different jobs, and I eventually was very keen on getting into mechanics and electrics. So I was going around Woolworths and Coles fixing up their cash registers and this, that and the other, well, learning and maintaining more than fixing up. I was with them for quite a number of years, and I got into accounting machines and electronics, and I swapped a few jobs just from then on.
My own personal question, how did you jump from one sort of role to another? Did you find someone, you met someone, you spoke with people, or did you just...
When I was working in the bank,
yes,
I saw a guy come in because I wasn't happy with the bank, it was ridiculous. And I saw a guy come in and working on a machine, I don't know what type of machine now, probably a accounting machine.
Yes.
And I thought, oh yeah, what he's doing. And I think I even realised he was from National Cash Register, NCR they call them now. And so I think I ended up applying for... Oh no, I was sorry, I changed from the bank to be a draftsman, that's right.
Yes.
But I didn't have any drawing experience. I remember even going back a bit. Sorry to go on.
It's all right. No, I want to hear this. It's very interesting to hear this.
Before I left school, I was stupid enough to think, and this is what is good training for young people, is I was very keen, for some reason, I don't know, I wanted to be a sign writer.
Yes.
Now, that is so stupid because 1, I'm colourblind, 2, I'm scared of heights, and a sign writer would be up on a ladder painting. But anyway, that dropped out. But getting back to, I left the bank and joined actually the water board as a draftsman, and drawing, and this I was very keen on drawing, and which I didn't do at school.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I was probably too smart for my type.
Okay.
I did at school French, Latin, history, which I hated. I should have done metalwork, woodwork, drawing, things like this. That's the one trap that I fell for. I hope young kids realise they've got to pick the subjects that they are good at, not what the school thinks is
100%.
good.
Yeah.
Getting back to jobs,
Yes.
as I said, I water board, and I gave that up. And as I said, I saw this guy, and I applied for NCR, and I got the job.
NCR, just for...
National Cash Register.
Okay, yeah.
Right, that's their cash registers. They were one of the biggest for cash registers and accounting machines. It was just starting to come out. Electronics was starting to come out, and there was after I left NCR, that would have been 1966.
Yes.
Because that was when the decimal currency changeover. I was working in the factory for changing over their machines.
Okay.
And after that, I think I got another job and I eventually got, about 1968, I got a job with a company called Australian Computers.
Yes.
and they maintain the what they call the Leo Marconi computer at Botany.
Okay.
It was a huge, it takes the size of this house or even more, huge computer.
Yeah.
And I was it was 24-hour shifting work. I was just a maintenance technician, and I was left there quite often, to maintain the machine and clean the machine.
What was such a big machine doing? Was it just like?
Oh, it did a lot of work.
Yes.
The main process was a huge, big drum printer.
Okay.
Huge, because it printed out all the statements for Shell Oil Company for their petrol sales.
Oh, okay.
Apart from the work on the night time. It worked 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, of course. It had six huge big tape decks, which had to be cleaned, and then with this, because they were vacuum fed. And I learned from it. I learned why the tape has to be super light, because it moves very quickly.
Yes.
And the faster it can move, the lighter it is, the faster it is. That's why the vacuum tubes keep the air out and this.
Yeah.
And these big tape machines, they were driven by valves,
Yes.
drivers, because we didn't have electronics that could drive such high power for the motors. But the globes, the tubes, vacuum tubes used to spot. I learned a lot on there, and I eventually just worked my way up. I was swapped. When I swapped jobs, I didn't want to go to competitors in a way.
Yes.
So I went into security, wormhole security, and understood. I was always keen to do, what do you call it, experiments and new things. And I know another company I worked for, I designed the paper tape punching holes in the paper tape for the computers. Yes. That was for the Navy. And I just went on and on and on. Last thing I did, the last job I was working for Lincoln Electric. But before then, I was working for Wormhole Security, designing the security systems for the Australian government.
Wow.
Oh, I'm very proud of what I've done.
Yes. So you've explored many things as well, right?
Oh yes, you've got to. And again, I really don't have any qualifications. I've got one. I've got a management certificate from the TAFE. And when I got up and started it, they asked me, why are you doing this course? And I said, because I don't understand managers and I want to find out how they think. But what amazed me was most of the people were coming up. I'm a manager of some bank. And I said, hey, you're just starting a course. How can you be a manager already? And if you're already a manager, why are you doing the course?
It's great to hear how much experience you have, how much exploring you've done as well, which is a lot of things that young people should be keen to do. But I want to know, how did you get to 3D printing? What's the story behind 3D printers? We have one right behind us here.
Yes.
So...
Oh, well, 3D printing, as I said, I was disabled. I've been disabled for basically 6 years now. I've had a good life, I can't complain. I've been travelled everywhere and I've explored my jobs and this, and I'm proud of what I've done. But then I've got this disability. It's only a disability, it's not a disease or anything. It's in the brain. I've got absolutely zero balance. And I have to be on a wheelchair or a computer chair or something like this. And I sit here all the time, and I was very bored. I was getting depressed. My wife was upset because, and the doctor said, you need something of interest. And I always had that back into my mind, a 3D printer. And as I said, I'm glad I didn't buy one a long time ago, because now these are smart.
Yeah.
It's, to me, it's the best. For me,
Yes.
It's the best 3D printer, and it's only $350. So,
that's good. I mean, usually 3D printers cost a lot, and JPAL is a great place to go as well.
Oh well, yes. You can get them cheaper. And I'm advising young people and people interested in buying one. You can probably buy one, save yourself $30, $40 by going online, but don't, because You go buy it from a place like JCar or this, and you'll get backup. You get support.
Yes.
If you buy it online, you get a box delivered to you, and you got to
Yeah.
put the damn thing together.
Warranty's annoying. Local support isn't available.
No
Having to,
local
fix
support.
things
That's
is
right.
really
Yes.
hard.
If you
Yeah.
if you're buying a second, third, fourth one, okay, get it as cheap as you can. But
Yes.
the first one definitely gets support, because if you don't know how to, and I didn't know how to use it, I didn't know how to, I just saw one operating in JCar, and I thought, yeah, okay, but I was very naive on how to do it, whatever. The idea of a 3D printer, for people who don't understand them, is they're not connected to a computer. You put your instructions from a computer onto a SD card, and you plug the SD card when it's fully instructed, what they call a G code,
Yeah.
and you put the SD card into the printer, and then you can select which G code you want on the
Yes.
printer. And they are very slow. I don't recommend them for younger kiddies because they're too slow for them. They're bored.
Also, they're very hot as well. With that tip, is if you touch it.
Or you touch,
Yeah.
don't touch the tip. Yeah, it's 200 degrees or more like this. But no, the platform is warm. It's about 50 or 60 degrees.
Yeah.
But nothing to really worry about. A little bit of maintenance.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It's got a lot of mechanical things. So I've actually this morning I oiled it a little bit with sewing machine oil, just on the runners and like this, because you can.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll turn it on now, and so I can still move that. But this needs oiling at this. What surprises me when I first got it is that I thought it would be direct drive and this, that, and the other. No, it's run by belts. This is on a belt.
Talking about maintenance a little bit, if someone, let's say, is at your age or a young person, what is the learning curve for it? What steps do they need to take to actually get into 3D printing? What would you recommend they do? Especially people who are older as well, who don't have much to do, and they're thinking about, what should I do now? What's a hobby I can get into? If you were to talk about 3D printing and promoting it for senior people as well,
Yes.
what would you advise them?
Yes.
What steps they can take as well?
Make certain, again, when you purchase it, you get someone from who you're buying from, good support.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of traps. The first trap, I was calling the guy out every time because the thing would just freeze up.
Yeah.
Then I realised that the G code, as I said, you put it on an SD card. The G code cannot be more. Well, I'm keeping under 8 characters now.
Yeah.
But I used to put great long
sentences
on the thing, so as I know what it is.
Yeah.
And the machine couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
It needs I understand reading the instructions, it can take up to 20 characters, but I'm not prepared to risk it, because when it stops, and you need to give the firmware.
If someone isn't super good with computers, do you still think they should at least give it a try, or who?
Oh
should
yes. There's no need to be good on a computer.
Yes.
The only thing you do need with your computer in order to operate it is, and the programs are free. There's Cuda and there's the slicer, of course. There's actually a slicer that comes with the software on the machine, but it's nowhere near as good as
So
Cuda.
to break it down, we'll need a software to build our models.
Yes.
So one is Tinkercad. The one you mentioned to me is 3D
Is
Builder.
on 3D Builder.
Yeah.
Now that's on, and your computer needs to be a Windows 10 or maybe 11, I don't know, but it needs to be and 64-bit Windows 10.
Yeah.
Which should come with 3D Builder and what's the other one? 3D Paint.
Oh, yeah.
3D Paint. 3D Paint is very good for when you're doing.
For students, what we often recommend as well is what's this?
That's a name tag I'm making for the nurses in Liverpool Hospital. I have to go to Liverpool Hospital to get
We have someone just behind the camera also with us, and he's also mentioning that there's a couple other things, amazing models. One of them was checking these models as well. Oh yes, tell me a little bit about these. Who are these for?
Well, I'm making them now.
Yes.
I've actually downloaded the what they call
The
the
STL,
file,
yes.
STL file.
Yes.
right, or the OBJ file, and they come in there, and I downloaded it, and you can manipulate the size and the cut-off points with either Pura or a little bit with Cura software that slices. But I'm making these for to put for because my wife's and we both go to church, and I like making things for the kiddies in this for Christmas. So I'm starting to make them. Yeah, I've got Pokemon and I've got
so you don't just
fairies and angels.
You don't just print things for yourself. You also print things for other people as well.
Oh yes, I'm printing. My wife's got enough statues. I've got a statue of Jesus and a statue of Mary, and I've got enough statues.
Yeah.
But for the
one
kids,
thing, before, sorry to interrupt you, but one thing is that the models you can get online are free. The software you need is all free.
No, you need to buy them, but then most of them are reasonably cheap.
If you go, there is one website, I'll mention this later separately as well. There is one website where you can get it for free. I think its name was Tinker something. It wasn't Tinker CAD, but it was like another tinkering site. And it has a lot of free models you can try as well, especially for
but
basic.
they're not good. To give you an example,
We'll get this box.
I printed it yesterday. There he is. Now look at the detail in that dog.
Yes.
Now that software would have cost me $5-6 or something.
I should probably show it to everyone on the camera as well. Can you see that?
Yes. Look, whereas other cheaper software, ones that come free,
you can see that?
they don't look real. That looks real. That
yes,
looks it's a real.
What about things like these though? What about these? Like, are they? You don't need to.
I bought the whole set for I think it was $22 or something like this online.
Just the models?
No, the whole this. I've got hundreds of models from an American company, Etna, I think it is. ETNA.
Yep.
ETSZ.
Yeah.
Or something like that. SY.
Yeah.
ETSY. They sell everything. I've had a look at Temu.
Yeah.
But no, they don't. The Etna ones you download straight off the internet.
Out of curiosity, what's your purpose, or why do you print things in general? Do you have like a reason, a goal, or do you have something that's fulfilling in printing?
Well, I enjoy printing, but I want to make toys and gifts and fairies and things like this, put them out for the kiddies in this church.
Yes, you mentioned kiddies. I think we have two special guests. I'm going to call them in just a second.
Okay, yes, they're my next books.
I gave to him a book.
Do you like your other books too? Because you're doing high school now, aren't you?
High school, no.
Not yet, but you soon will be.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, that's good. And yes, I've made a few things for you, and I made a few things for your mother. Would you like? You know his name.
Pikachu.
Pikachu, and there's quite a lot of
And which other one
in
was
this
it?
box. Oh, there's quite a few.
Which other one would you want as well?
Do you know him?
Squirtle?
Squirtle, yeah?
Yes.
You can have. No, but you can have the whole lot if you want to. This one is a bit difficult to make because it has a. Oh no, that's not. You know him?
You?
Yes.
Oh yeah, he's got a broken tail. Yes, you can have him, but his tail is
when
very
you're
delicate.
doing 3D prints as well, this is just for everyone online as well. I'm gonna be back
Yes.
here, sorry. But when you're doing 3D prints, I'll bring my head down.
Yes.
Sometimes you have things like supports, and supports help models. For example, can I borrow Mew for a second? Like, for example, this little Mew model we have, the tail goes all the way up here. It's hard, because the way 3D printers work, they print in layers from top to bottom. Sorry, from bottom to top. Yes, bottom to top. And so because of that, sometimes things like tails are really hard to print, so we have supports. You'll learn about this when you get started with 3D printing. Don't worry too much about the jargon that's used. You learn it as you go forward.
You know him?
Yes, that's very popular.
Charizard.
Yes.
Yes. You can have him as well if you like. Yeah, no
Alright.
worries. I made him for
What's
you.
your name again?
Daniel.
Daniel and
Evie.
Sarah.
Zara. Thank you, Zara and Daniel, for being here. And
know him?
thank you.
Vulpix.
I mean, there's
Thank you,
He knows them
John,
all, doesn't he?
so much
That's
for your
all
time.
right.
As everyone just saw, it's very
They won't
fulfilling.
really break if you drop them.
Yeah, it's very fulfilling to also make 3D models for other people as well, and it's a very fun hobby as well. And I think John can also say that it's a
Oh yes, yes.
And just quickly, 3D printing gives body to your thought. If you have an idea and you want to actualize it, even if it's just a thought about, hey, this, it will allow you to physically make all of these things that aren't physical possible, as you can see here. So that's one of the beauties of 3D printing. And just quickly, John, any final words about 3D printing? Any message you'd like to give to anyone?
Well, I've made a lot of things for the nurses in Liverpool Hospital, and particularly the Pixie ward. They know me quite well. I've been going there 2 days every 2 weeks for 6 years, and they really look after me, and I want to give them. I made a whole stack of brooches for the nurses for Christmas, and this
Thank
year.
you so much.
And this is, for example, there's a Noreen's a new nurse.
Mention the club as well, because I heard you were running a club. So for everyone out there who doesn't know,
I'm not running it.
okay, what are you doing in the club? Oh, where is this club?
just a
Tell me
visit.
about it.
The club is in the Campbelltown Library.
Yep.
As I said, they meet every, and there's about, last time there was about 12 people there.
Yeah.
5:30 to 7:30 on a Thursday night in Liverpool, Liverpool, Campbelltown Library. It's just a course of amateurs getting together and discussing things, and I'm happy to go along because not many have. I'm the only one, I think. Last month to have a printer, but that's where I met Ali, and Ali's pretty keen.
Yeah. For everyone who doesn't know who Ali is, Ali, you'll also know him from Young Inventors Australia. He's behind the camera right now, helping us setting all of this up as well. And pretty much what John was talking about was the 3D printing club, which happens in Campbelltown Library.
Yes.
What day was it again?
Thursday nights.
Thursday nights from
5:30 to 7:30.
Yes.
Every third Thursday of the month.
Okay, beautiful. And it's not that hard to join. What was the membership again? Just $5?
$5. Yes.
Exactly. Like compared to how much it costs, like just in general when you get
and you
started.
enjoy it, and it's very informal.
Yes.
You just ask questions, and I understand this Thursday, which is on this Thursday, they've got a guest speaker who's very skilled at 3D printing and understands things, and he explains it, and he's got videos on him, and it's very informative.
Yes. So if anyone is free, or I highly suggest, even if you're not looking to get fully invested in 3D printing, for the sake of learning, or bring your kids along, or anyone who doesn't have
They
copyright.
prefer not kiddies.
Not kids. So what's the age range?
Again, 3D printing isn't for kiddies so much because it's so slow and kids get bored.
Yes.
Kids expect to go boom, 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 there's the product.
Yeah.
Now some of these, for example, that took 18 hours to print.
Yes.
18 hours to print. It's a beautiful statue, but it takes a long, long time.
So age range is a good thing. Like, would you say teenagers?
15, yes, a teenager. One is prepared to, if he's prepared to learn, but if he's not just interested in coming along,
I understand.
he's got to be able to keen enough to learn and want to know.
All right. So thank you again, John. I appreciate all the time you gave me. And thank you once again for introducing 3D printing to everybody.
That's all right. Mm-hmm.
Right. Goodbye, everybody.